And prosecutors are set to call their final witnesses today in Hunter Biden's felony gun trial. The president's son's on trial for 3 felony charges for allegedly lying on a form about his drug use in order to buy a gun in 2018. Now, prosecutors could rest their case as soon as today. ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin joins me now from the courthouse in Wilmington, Delaware. Olivia, what's the latest?
That gun store employee, Gordon Cleveland, who sold Hunter Biden the gun and said he personally watched him fill out the form where he verified he was not a user of drugs, is back on the stand, and he is facing cross-examination from Hunter's attorney, Abby Lowell. And what Lowell has been doing this morning is using Gordon Cleveland to differentiate the questions that were on that form. For example, the form asks, if you have ever been indicted of a crime, but it asks, are you a user of drugs? And it seems that his team is trying to emphasize that Hunter perhaps didn't knowingly violate that form when he filled it out, because they have argued, was not using drugs at that time. So it is a key part of their defense that they are trying to get across to the jury right now. And it does come, after a morning of motions and objections in front of the judge outside of the earshot of the jury. A bit tense there, as they're trying to figure out what evidence the defense is going to be able to use to cross-examine Hallie Biden, who is expected to take the stand shortly. I would also note that Special Counsel David Weiss is in the room. He is in the front row behind his team there, and he has been sort of nodding along as they have been making some of their arguments this morning.
Olivia, what stands out to you from the testimony so far?
Well, prosecutors have, really done their due diligence of laying out Hunter Biden's addiction, that years-long addiction. They've used multiple witnesses, women from Hunter's past, to talk about how they personally, saw him doing drugs, found him doing drugs. They've used Hunter's own words against him. Hundreds of texts entered into the record. Portions of his own audiobook where he says he's an addict entered into the record. And they have been using that, but what they have not yet done is get anyone on the stand to say that they saw Hunter Biden using drugs during that specific time when he owned the gun, which is so key here. And that is exactly what the defense has been drilling into. Every time a witness takes the stand, they say, oh, you saw him using drugs in March of 2018. But what about October 2018 when he owned the gun? Did you see him using drugs then? The words, of his ex-girlfriend were that she had no idea what he was doing in October 2018. So they have made this a case about that exact gun, period, Diane.
So, Olivia, what are you watching for as prosecutors wrap up their case?
Well, I'm just hearing from our great reporter, Laura Romero, who just ran out, that Hallie Biden has now just taken the stand. So what prosecutors are going to do with her? She is a critical witness, Diane. She is the one that just found the gun in October 2018 and threw it in the trash. There have already been text messages entered into the record. Hunter texting her saying, did you take that from me, Hallie? And it does appear that Hallie is going to be the linchpin in the government's case to bring Hunter's drug use to that time period. It could be that she testifies she saw him using drugs or thought she was using drugs during that time, because she is the one who is in communication with him at that time. And the reason, a court got off to a late start today with the testimony is because they were so fiercely debating what sort of text messages the defense was going to be able to use to cross-examine her, text messages between Hallie and Hunter during that time period. So a critical witness getting on the stand today, and Hunter's defense team trying to get in whatever they can to be able to hopefully, in their case, try to impeach some of her testimony.
All right, investigative reporter Olivia Rubin, thank you.